If you are not new to this channel, you will have heard me talk a lot about the importance of savings or saving for the rainy day. The question that we have not addressed yet is where to place your savings. Placing your savings in a wrong product can be a costly affair. Moreover, if you leave money in a low interest or in a non-interest bearing account, you are losing value in real terms. In other words, your money is depreciating. This is what economists call inflation. More when we return. Hello everyone, my name is JP of JP Financial and Accounting, Everyday Finance Made Simple. In this channel, we try to train, coach, and to equip you with relevant money management skills. Moreover, we try to glean as much wisdom as possible from scripture. Let me start by making it very, very clear that at the moment, interest rates are very low. Therefore, keeping your savings in a savings account that pays interest that is lower than the rate of inflation is costing you money. Every single day that you leave that money in that account, you are getting poorer. As I said before, inflation will keep eating away at your savings. Let me explain. Savings interests are very low worldwide. In the UK, many accounts are paying as low as 0.01%, and the best will pay about 2%. On the other hand, inflation in the UK at the moment is at 1.75%, in the US 1.5%, in South Africa 4%, and in China 2.9%. Let's answer the question, what is inflation? Inflation is the rate at which the average price level of goods and services increase over a period of time. Inflation indicates the decrease in the purchasing power of money, or in the purchasing power of your money. So how does this affect your money? Let us say you have £1,000 today and you wish to purchase a laptop that costs £1,000. Then you decide to delay that purchase and make it in 1 year's time, in 12 months' time. If you leave that amount in a savings account that pays you 0.01%, indeed the amount will have grown, but it will have grown only by 10 pence. That means now you have £1,000 and 10 pence. But if inflation is 1.75%, that means the price of the laptop will have increased to £1,017 and 50 pence. Effectively, you have lost £17.40 by delaying that purchase for a year because inflation has eaten away at your savings. Which means now you can't afford that laptop which you would have afforded a year ago. This is why I strongly recommend keeping as little as possible in a savings account, say 6 months worth of your monthly expenses, and that you should invest the rest. However, you must bear in mind that investment options come with varying levels of risk. This means that you must choose an investment product that best reflects your risk appetite. We will leave investments for another video. For now, let us look at our subject matter of the day, which is types of savings account and their varying advantages and disadvantages. Crudely speaking, there are 6 different types of savings accounts. They are known by different names depending on which country you come from or which part of the globe you are, and sometimes the banks will brand them differently and call them different names. But crudely speaking, there are 6. Deciding which savings accounts best suits your needs can be challenging, especially if you do not know the advantages and disadvantages of each. Now, let us look at the pros and the cons of each account. The first account on my list is what is called a high interest current account. In the US, they call it an MMA, which is money market account. These accounts are a hybrid between the traditional current account and a savings account. Current accounts are known by different names in different parts of the world also. In the US, they call it a checking account. I think in South Africa, they call it a check account. What are the advantages of a high interest current account, or MMA? Number 1, often they offer higher interest rates than a basic savings account, sometimes as high as 2%. Number 2, usually they offer a debit card or checks so that it makes it easier for you to make payments or use the account. What are some of the disadvantages of a high-interest current account? Number one, some may limit the number of withdrawals that you can make in a given period. Number two, often they require a high initial minimum deposit. Number three, they may require a high minimum daily balance. Number four, sometimes the high interest only applies if you maintain a high minimum balance, say £1,500. The high interest rates are sometimes just reserved for new customers for a period of, say, 12 months, after which the interest drops sharply. The terms attached to high interest current accounts usually include a requirement to pay a certain amount each month. If you go overdrawn on a high interest bank account, you are likely to be stung by above average bank charges. The second type of savings account is what is known as an instant access savings account. Sometimes these are known as easy access savings account. These are normally simple bank accounts that let you earn interest on your balance. You can deposit as much cash as you like into the account anytime, and you can also withdraw as much without incurring fees or charges. So obviously, the advantage of this account is you have immediate access to your money at any time free of charge. You can deposit as much as you like whenever you like. Normally, they require a small initial balance, sometimes as low as £1, and many banks offer debit cards and use of ATMs with this type of accounts. The main disadvantage of these accounts is that the interest rate is very, very low. And also, you may pay tax on the interest you earn. In the UK, if you earn over £1,000, you are required to pay tax. In summary, instant access accounts are suitable for saving your rainy day funds, but remember that interest is likely to be lower than inflation. The third type of a savings account is what is known as notice savings accounts. Notice savings accounts require you to give advance notice if you wish to withdraw funds. Typically, this ranges from 30 to 120 days. As a general rule, the more notice you give, the higher the interest that you will receive. So what are the advantages of notice deposit accounts? Number one, the interest rates are slightly higher than those offered by instant access savings accounts. Number two, deposit amounts are normally unlimited. Number three, it discourages you from dipping into your savings because of the notice period that is required to make withdrawals. What about disadvantages? Number one, normally there is a minimum deposit that is required to open such accounts, usually £1,000 or even more. Number two, you need to give advance notice if you wish to withdraw funds from your savings. Number three, there is the risk of paying penalties if you don't stick to the rules. Number four, interest rates are still low compared to other options available in this list. In summary, notice accounts are a good choice if you are saving up for a specific goal. The fourth type of savings account on my list is the regular saver account. On a regular saver account, you commit to saving a specific amount on a monthly basis for an agreed period of time, normally 12 months, sometimes 24 months. The main advantage of these accounts is that interest rates can be attractive. In the UK, they can be as high as 3%. The second advantage is normally they require low minimum payments. The third advantage, and perhaps my favorite, is that the potential of being penalized forces you to be disciplined in saving. In other words, you are forced to save regularly. The disadvantage, of course, is that they are inflexible, as you will be penalized if you fail to pay money regularly. Number two, generally speaking, they are unsuitable if you need emergency access to your money. Number three, they may limit the number of deposits that you can make in a year. Similarly, they may limit the number of withdrawals that you can make in that year. In fact, in some, withdrawals may not be allowed at all. And finally, you may be penalized if you miss a month's deposit. The fifth account on my list is the individual savings account, normally known as ISA in the UK. ISAs are very similar to other savings accounts. Their main attraction is that any interest you earn on an ISA is tax-free. However, remember that the first £1,000 you earn is tax-free anyway. So what are the advantages of an ISA? Of course, the first one is that any interest you earn is tax-free. Secondly, if your ISA is a cash ISA, you have instant access to your cash. They are flexible, you can deposit and withdraw as much as you want. What are some of the disadvantages of ISA? Number one is that there is a 20,000 maximum deposit you can make. You can't deposit any more than 20,000. And normally the best interest rates are reserved for those that place their money on a fixed term. ISAs are a good choice for long-term saving goals or if you wish to avoid paying tax. Number 6 on my list are fixed bonds or fixed deposit accounts. In the US, they call them the certificate of deposit. Fixed bonds are accounts that allow you to deposit a single large sum of money for a set period of time. This can range from a minimum of 6 months up to 5 years or even more in some instances. What are the advantages of a fixed deposit account? You know exactly how much interest you will earn at the end of the contract. Number 2, the interest rate is fixed in advance for the full term, so you won't be affected if interest rates go down. So, what are the disadvantages of a fixed deposit account? Number 1, you could miss out on more attractive interest rates if the rates go up during the term. Number 2, they usually require a large minimum deposit, say £1,000 or even more in some instances. Number 3, you can't make additional contributions or withdraw your money during the term because it's a fixed agreed term. Number 4, you will be unable to access your money for the duration of the agreed term. Number 5, you will be penalized if you decide to withdraw your money early. You will have to pay a withdrawal fee or a withdrawal penalty. In summary, fixed deposit accounts are good if you are looking at long-term savings. Let us conclude by looking at our verse of the day. Today, our verse of the day comes from Proverbs chapter 21, verse 5, and it reads, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty." What is the wise man telling us here? That we need to have plans, and that we must be diligent in our plans, and then in that way we reap a reward. However, if we rush into things, if we are not considered in our decisions, if we are not meticulous, then it will lead to poverty. And I think this verse applies very well to what we are talking about today. We need to understand these savings accounts, these different types of savings accounts, and choose the right ones for us. So let's have a plan. What is your goal? What is your plan? Is it to grow your savings? Is it to develop the habit of saving? Is it a long-term savings plan? Whatever it is, make sure that you are diligent in your plan. It will lead to profit. If you are haste and not diligent enough, beware, it could lead to poverty. Moving on, let us look at Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 2. It reads, "Invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land." This builds on nicely from what we read in the Proverbs. Again, the wise man tells us not only to plan, not only to be diligent, but also to diversify our savings. Should you save in 1? Should you save in 2, 3, or even more products? When we have done this, then we know it will lead to profit. We have eliminated the risk of putting all our eggs in one basket. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have found it beneficial, please like it. And if you're not already a subscriber on this channel, please do subscribe. It will help me to reach a larger audience. This is because of how the YouTube algorithm works. It looks at the number of subscribers on a channel, it looks at the number of likes on a video, and that way it drives more traffic into this channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the support that I've received from many of you out there. God bless.